Alright guys, so we're going to take it from a lying down position with the feet flat on the ground, knees bent up towards the sky. And I just want you to take a couple seconds here to just feel the floor behind your spine. So maybe just closing over your eyes for a moment. Taking a little bit of a scan of the parts of your body that are touching the floor. So we have our feet. Can you feel your pinky toes on the mat? Can you feel your big toes on the mat? Can you feel your heels? If you had to scan straight up your shins, your knees should be pointing pretty much up towards the sky. Just make sure that one knee isn't floating too much out to the side, relatively parallel. If you had to think about and feel where the back of your pelvis is touching the mat, so your bum, your tailbone, just make sure that you're not leaning into one side or kind of leaning into the other side. See if you can really find that central point of your tailbone on the ground. If you had to draw a line from your tailbone up your spine, you should notice that your lower back isn't squished into the floor. There's a tiny little space between your lower back and the ground. We're not gripping the muscles of our lower back. We're relaxed, but we're not squishing it into the floor. Your middle back, your kind of upper to middle back should be pretty much in contact with the ground. So really let that feel heavy. You want to almost imagine that the front of your rib cage is melting down into the ground behind you. So you really get a sense of heaviness through the ribs. Your left and your right shoulder blade, they are floating bones, and they actually kind of float at the back of your rib cage, and you want them to feel heavy on the mat as well. So allow your arms to adjust in any way that's going to let those shoulder blades feel heavier on the floor and more in contact with the ground. You might notice that as your shoulder blades really root and relax into the floor, that your collarbones, bones at the front of your chest, feel a little bit more open. The back of your neck is probably slightly lifted away from the ground, but I want you to think about drawing your chin towards your throat so that you can lengthen through the back of your neck. And finally, the back of your skull, your head, back of your head touching the mat. I want you to allow your head to gently roll from the left to the right. So you're going to look over to the left, super slowly roll your head over to the right. And kind of almost just forgetting that there's a muscular action here. Can you start to just feel the weight of the bone of your skull rolling from side to side? So this giant bone that is your skull, or fusion of bones. And just know that this thing is perched on the top of your neck. Weighs about the same as a bowling ball. We want to keep all of our spinal muscles nice and strong to be able to support this weight. So as you roll your head from side to side, start to think about relaxing into the muscles of the neck for now. And then we're going to find a beautiful central point where the back of your skull is perched purely at the center point of the back of the skull there. So you're nice and even throughout your head. You're nice and even throughout your pelvis. Just take a second to observe this position in your body. your hands to your tummy, your middle fingers or your index fingers resting over your tummy, and we're going to inhale nice and big into your belly, ideally in through the nose. Exhaling either out the mouth or out the nose, whatever you prefer. Keep on breathing, so nice big inhale into your belly. We're not inhaling so forcefully that the neck muscles switch on and tense up, but nice and full 360 degree fill. And as you exhale, try and elongate the exhale a little bit. So you're thinking, I'm not just going to let that air shoot out like letting go of a balloon. You want to really eke out every little bit of time, every moment of that exhale, so you can start to facilitate a little bit more of a core activation feeling as you reach the end of your exhale. Take 5 more breaths like this. A nice 360 degree fill on the inhale. Even feeling the back of your body expand into the floor, and exhale slowly. 4 more breaths like this. Nice big fill on the inhale. Slow, consistent exhalation, starting to hopefully feel as you exhale the muscles of your tummy switch on a little bit. Two more breaths to go. Big 360 degree fill on the inhale. And beautiful long exhale. Feeling the rib cage knit together on that exhale. Last time, purely focusing on the breath. Great job. We're going to keep that consistent breathing pattern, and we're going to take one leg into tabletop, other leg into tabletop, and hold. So as soon as the legs come off of the ground, you'll feel your lower back muscles and your tummy muscles contract. See if you can even out that distribution of work between lower back and tummy. It shouldn't just be all lower back helping you here to keep those legs up. Think about abs helping you as well. Try and find your 360 degree inhale and big elongated exhale. Keep going. You might notice your exhale is a little bit more superficial. Why? Because our tummy muscles are now working to keep our legs suspended, so they're under way more load. Try your best to take a really nice big inhale. Try your best to eke every moment out of that exhale. Three more breaths like this, just holding tabletop. Last 2 breaths. Try and stay as consistent as you can with that neutral spine. Try not to let the shoulders and neck tense up. Take that activation to your center. This should be pretty tricky, like it should be work, like proper work. One more. And then we hug the knees in towards the chest. Take a little rock from side to side. Well done. I always find with that exercise, it's one of those that like again, if anyone was watching you, they'd be like, oh, that looks so easy. But hopefully, with all of the alignment cues, it's quite a challenging one to maintain. So we're going to come straight back into that position, guys. We're coming straight back in, and we're going to add in a little bit of movement. So you can take your hands wherever you like. I quite like having my hands on the ground a couple of inches away from my body, because that helps me to keep my shoulders relaxed. And then I'm going to find my cues again. So neutral into my spine, back of my neck is long, shoulders are broad and wide, and my rib cage is drawing down. From here, I'm going to inhale, and as I exhale, I'm going to send one foot towards the floor. So my left foot is going to tap the ground as if I was dipping my toes into ice cold water, and then I'm going to bring it back up. And then I'm going to alternate to my right. So right leg is going to come down and up. I'm exhaling on the way down, inhaling on the way up. So that lowering of the leg, that moment when you start to lower the leg, it's super slow to facilitate a nice long exhale. Okay, so use your breathing pace to set the pace for your movement. Nice, Julie, that's great. So it's an exhale down, an inhale lifted. Yes. Reluctant to set too many reps here, but let's say, for instance, eight more reps to go. You can do less, you can do more. Try and keep that breathing nice and consistent. Four to go. Trying not to clench your jaw, and I'm saying that because I always start to clench my jaw when things get tough. Last one. Beautiful. Try and maintain that tabletop position. If your lower back needs a break, you take it. Otherwise, left knee floats out to the left hand side whilst keeping the right knee steady up towards the sky. Root your right pelvic half into the floor, and then bring the leg back to center. Right knee out to the right. Nice. Exactly. Slowly bring it back to center. So this movement is one of those that if you're not like a policewoman or policeman about your spinal and pelvic positioning, you're going to think, what the hell is this exercise all about? So you really got to be super pedantic about keeping everything stable as that one limb floats to the side. Okay, really nuanced this one. 5. If you want a little bit more sensation, float the arms up towards the sky so you no longer have the help of your hands on the ground to stabilize you. 4. Focusing on the lower abdominals, so you're thinking internal obliques on the left and the right hand side. Internal obliques are the lower obliques closer to your pelvis. Last 2. Last 1. Beautiful. And then we're just going to hug the knees to the chest and little rocklet, little rocklet, little rocklet. Great job. Okay guys, so we're going to take the feet to the ground, just warming up the upper abdominals. Take your hands behind your head, elbows into your peripheral vision. Nice big inhale at the bottom. And we're going to exhale, nod our chin towards our throat first and come up into our crunch. So a little bit of flexion. Nice. Perfect. Try and scale both shoulder blades off of the mat. So you're thinking, all right, my head's off the mat, my shoulders are off the mat, my shoulder blades are off of the mat, my rib cage is piercing through the front of my body as if it's trying to reach through the floor. And then you're going to slowly come back down. And again, come on up. Pause at the top, really try and scale the shoulder blades off of the mat. In terms of your lower back positioning here, try and maintain a neutral if you can. So we haven't pushed the lower back into the floor. Slowly lower yourself down. We're taking a little pause at the top each time. Inhale. Exhale, come on up. Pause at the top, scale both shoulder blades off of the floor. So really, not even the bottom part of your shoulder blade is touching. Yeah, hold, hold, hold. Slowly take it down. And lift, exhale. Pause. Slowly lower. Guys, on the next one, we're going to try and lift and hold, okay? So take it up and stay up if you can. Support your head firmly. Don't be afraid to really support your head. And then find your abs. See if you can use them to come up a little bit higher. Now we're going to add in a bit more. Slide your left leg long on the ground in front of you. So reach the left leg long. Pull your belly button in towards your spine and see if you can lift that left leg up and then lower it back. Slowly tap the heel to the ground. And lift and lower. And lift. Good. And lower. Nice. So what I want you to feel here, right butt cheek is still pushing into the floor. You're thinking about your neutral spine, shoulder blades ideally off of the mat if you can get that. Last 2 and 1. Nice. Try to stay up in your crunch. Left foot comes down. Right leg slides along out in front of you. Nice. Keep pushing down into the floor through that left foot. Draw your navel, your belly button in towards your spine. And then slowly, listening to your lower back, pick up that right leg, lift and lower. So as you lift that leg up, you're thinking about a co-contraction between your abs and your lower back muscles. They're working together like a corset to give you that core stability. Keep on going up and down. My shoulder blades are definitely touching the ground, so I'm going to try and lift up a little bit higher for 3. Lift up a little bit higher, guys, for 2. It should be way more burny as you lift. Last 1. And then pop that right foot down, lower your upper body down, and we'll just windscreen wipe from side to side. Well done. I know that one's tough. I actually came up with that exercise on a beach in Malibu, so I always think about California when I do that one. I'm sure somebody came up with that exercise long before me, but anyway. Guys, we're going to roll up into seated and come onto all fours briefly. So starting to take a little bit of a look at the shoulder blades. On all fours here, I'm going to keep my elbows nice and straight. So try and just watch out for the elbows doing sneaky little things. I'm going to allow my shoulder blades to draw together towards my spine. So my shoulder blades are going to draw towards one another. My chest is going to drop to the floor. So I'm actually squeezing an imaginary pencil between my shoulder blades now. And then I'm going to push the floor away. Shoulder blades are really far away from one another, kind of like a plank. Yeah? Squeeze the shoulder blades together without letting the elbows bend. And then push the floor away. Exactly. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. You'll notice that your sternum lowers closer to the ground. Sternum lifts away from the ground. 5 more. And push. And 4. So it's pretty much an up, down kind of situation here. 3. Think about your fingers pressing into the floor as well. So fingers are quite active, almost like you're clawing the earth. 2. And 1. Very nice. Come up into a high kneeling position, just to come off of the wrists and reach your arms up overhead. Right, and we're going to do the same thing with the arms up overhead, or same, but slightly different. I'll face you. I'm going to shrug my shoulders up, and then I'm going to squeeze my shoulder blades down. I'm going to shrug my shoulders up, and then I'm going to squeeze my shoulder blades down. So try not to let the elbows bend. I'll sit down here. So my elbows are staying super straight. I'm going to squeeze my shoulder blades up, and then I'm going to squeeze my shoulder blades down. Exactly. And up and down. Good. And up and down. Go for 4 more. And up and down. really the movement is coming from the shoulder blade. 3 and down, and 2 and down, and last one, lift, good, and down. Really nice. Take your hands back to the mat, shoulders above the wrists. Instead of just going up and down, I want you guys to see if you can keep the elbows nice and straight and maybe draw a circle with those shoulder blades. So I don't know if you ever saw like old steam trains. You can know how those wheels work. I wouldn't even know the name of the contraption, to be honest with you, but the shoulder blades are moving up and around in a circular fashion, kind of like a locomotion, right? So think about circling the shoulder blades. Yes, pushing the floor away in that moment when you're up, drawing the sternum down. Yes. And then let's reverse that direction. Nice. Go for maybe 5 more. There are really no right and wrongs here. It's more just a self-exploration. So without limiting yourself, just see how much movement, how much freedom you can find here without bending the elbows. Last 2. And last 1. Very nice. Then push the floor away. We're going to take our right arm, reach it up towards the sky. Finding rotation, just pause here for me in this moment. The arm, the left arm, the hand that's on the ground, push the floor away. Think about squeezing your left shoulder blade down. Think about reaching your right arm and shoulder blade up. So reach, 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 reach. Good. And then we're going to thread that right arm down underneath the left until the right cheek is on the floor. Breathe into your right shoulder blade. Think about filling up that area with breath. Good, and then we reach the right arm up. Pause. Left shoulder blade squeezes down. Right shoulder blade reaches up. And then we thread down and through. Breathe into your right shoulder blade. 2 more times and reach it up. As you reach up, guys, try and keep pinky toe contact with the right foot on the floor. Slowly come down. Breathe into the right shoulder blade in that rotation. And last time, reach up. We're going to try and hold. Hopefully the left wrist is okay with that. Reach up and hold, allowing your chest and your shoulder to move. We're going to circle the arm forward, up, back, and around, kind of like you're going to give your little bum a smack. Okay? Reach up, back. 3. Keep pushing the floor away through the left shoulder blade. So I'm never sinking into that left shoulder blade. I'm always pushing. 2. 1. Dig deep. Try and reverse this. And up, around and forward. Hopefully, I'm starting to feel my right obliques, my right abdominal muscles switch on. Hopefully you're getting that. 2 and 1. Right arm down. Good job. Left arm up, rotate. Pause. Left pinky toe on the mat. Push the floor away. Right shoulder blade draws down into your right pocket of your jeans. Yeah. Left shoulder blade reaches up. And then we thread left arm down underneath the right. Left cheek maybe reaches the ground. Inhale into the left shoulder blade. And then slowly unravel left arm up. Good. Left pinky toe on the mat. Inhale. Nice. Beautiful, Julie. And then slowly down. Big inhale into the left shoulder blade. 2 more here and reach. Nice. guys, last one, dig deep. Second side is always harder for those circles, so reach up if you can. Chest and shoulder is moving, so I'm allowing my sternum to turn towards the mat and then turn towards the left as I circle. So a lot of the time I just see people move the arm. Your humerus, your arm bone connects into the shoulder blade floats on the back of the rib cage connects to the spine. So we are all connected. Yeah? Last 3. Try and keep the right shoulder relatively above that right wrist. Don't pull your bum back too far. Good. And then reverse it slowly up, forward. Or at least whichever direction you were going, just reverse for 5. Good. 3 to go. Keep pushing the floor away through that right arm. 2. 1. Amazing. And then open your knees nice and wide. Sit your bum back and stretch the arms forward into a shell stretch or child's pose. Beautiful. In your shell stretch, I mean, you might notice a couple of sensations here, but maybe you notice the muscles of the middle back a little bit switched on. See if you can breathe into that area. We're going to take both of our arms in a shell stretch over to the right hand side. You guys have, I'm sure, done this with me before. So we're reaching both arms over to our right. Try and think about your left bum cheek reaching towards your left heel. Okay, so your left bum cheek is rooting back and down to the left heel. You're breathing into the left side of your lungs. Your left hand is pushing the floor away. One more breath here. Think about really targeting your inhale into the space between each rib, those intercostals, your lats, your obliques, or the external obliques now. And then slowly walk both arms over to the other side. Nice. Once you've settled in, just take a little bit of a note of where your right sit bone is. Try and reach it back towards the right heel. So you're creating that beautiful long oblique line from the right hip towards the right shoulder. Push the floor away through the right hand. Get away from the floorboards. Breathe into the right side of your body. Just noticing any differences you might feel. One more breath. Beautiful. And then slowly bring yourself back to center. Nice. So we're coming onto all fours yet again. Oh, time is flying, guys. Damn. Okay, so onto all fours again. We're just going to find our neutral spine. So just make sure here that your head is not hanging. You're magnetizing the back of your skull up towards the sky. And you're going to see if you can stretch left leg back, lift it up. Nice. Perfect. And then right arm long. Nice. Pause for a moment here. Okay, think about length through the fingertips of the right hand. So stretch that right arm long. So imagine someone in front of you that was trying to reach you and you were stretching just to touch the fingertips of their hand. Same with the left leg. Reach it back, try and touch the wall behind you. Feel that a little bit of elasticity in your body. Nice. See if you can get a little bit more height out of your right hip, so not collapsing into the right bum cheek, but pushing down through the right shin to lift away from the floor. Nice. Yes, hold. From here, you're going to see if you can bring your right hand in towards your left knee, so they're going to move in towards one another, and then reach long in opposition. Slowly bring it in. Try and keep right pinky toe contact on the mat if you can. Going for 5. Reach. 4. Reach. Thinking about length through the crown of the head, length through the tailbone. So the spine is nice and long. We're not letting the spine round and change. Now reach the left leg back, hold it there, place your right hand back on the mat. Walk your 2 hands about an inch further forward on the mat. Here, so you've got the hands a little bit further out in front of you. Now start to play around with rocking your shoulders forward over the wrists and rocking your shoulders back. So I'm going to shift my weight forwards, shift my weight back. As I shift my weight forwards, guys, I'm not letting my lower back arch. So all I'm doing is playing with my shoulder angle above my wrists, my hip above my knees. Good. See if you can rock yourself slightly forward. Hold. Bend into the elbows. The elbows bend back towards your towards the back of your mat. And then you're going to see if you can push the floor away and come up again. So I'm going to rock my weight forward, bend into my elbows, maybe come down, sternum towards the floor, and then push the floor away, come up. These are called pendulum push-ups. So I'm using the counterbalancing of my leg to assist me. Yes. Nice. Just watch that the lower back is not arching as you come down into that push-up. Last 2. And last 1. Nice. Let the left foot come down. Open up the knees. Sit your bum back. Take a shell. Very nice. So with those pendulum push-ups, you can choose how much you want to bend into the elbows. You don't have to go all the way to the ground and like touch your chin off the floor. Take about 2 more breaths here, just letting the wrists recover. And let's bring it back up, guys. We're going to try that on the other side, yeah? And your bum will burn as well, hopefully. All right, hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Stretch, right leg back, left arm long. Lift the right foot off of the ground. Keep that sense of length. So before we move, I want you to get long. Reach through that left hand. Reach through the pinky toes of the right foot. Lengthen through the spine, and then slowly bring hand to knee, knee to hand, and then reach it long. As you bring the knee to the hand, think about your lower back getting longer, your belly lifting from the floor. Yes, guys. 4 more. 3. Last 2. And 1. Beautiful. Keep that right leg lifted, but place the left hand back on the mat and walk your hands a little bit further forwards. I usually go maybe like 1 inch further forward, and then start to play with rocking the shoulders forwards and backwards over the wrists. Nice. When you're ready, you can rock yourself forward. Start to bend into the elbows, even if it's just like a micro bend, that's okay, and you can push yourself back up. Play around with the depth of the bend in the elbows. You want to try not to pause at the bottom for too long. So we're coming down and straight back up. Nice. And down, straight back up. As I come down, my shoulder blades are drawing together. As I push the floor away, my shoulder blades are far away from one another. Last 3. Try keep the lower back long. 2. Last time. nice, guys. Coming off of those wrists. Let's tuck our toes under, all 10 of them. See if you can sit back with your bum onto those heels. I just need to get my pinky toes tucked under as well. Coming off of the wrists. Well done. Take a second here. If you feel you can handle this toe stretch whilst adding a little bit extra on, then maybe you can take your left hand to the mat, reach your right arm up. If your toes are screaming at you, then you might just want to breathe and just close your eyes, you know. Slowly take the right hand to the mat, left arm reaches up. Nice. Good, let's go one more time each side. Hopefully the toes can handle it. Left hand down, right arm up. Don't put too much weight into the wrists here because I want to see if we can maybe come into something planky after this. And right hand down, left arm up. Very nice. Slowly come back to center. Gently roll out the wrists. You guys okay? Guys, time is flying today, literally, so almost there. All right, so let's come off of the wrists just again for a second because I feel like if mine are tender, the rest of the world's probably quite tender as well. So we're going to come onto our forearms. On our forearms, you got the choice of either interlacing the fingers or keeping the hands parallel on the mat. I'm going to interlace my fingers. Keeping the toes tucked under, I'm going to lengthen into my lower back. So reaching my tail towards the wall behind me. I'm going to lift my knees up and hover and hold. Nice. In this position, guys, the shoulders are pushing the floor away through the elbows. So my shoulder blades are really far away from one another. See if you can really feel that. My knees are staying pretty close to the ground. So try and avoid the situation where your bum lifts too high. Keep those knees nice and low. If you feel you can add on to this, keep the lower back long and step the left foot back. Then step your right foot back. So you're kind of more in a long-legged forearm plank. Then step your left knee in, keeping the bum low, right knee in. And then right leg back, left leg back, right knee in, left knee in. Left leg back, right leg back, left knee in, right knee in, right leg back, left leg back, right leg in, left leg in, one more each side, left leg back, right leg back, left knee in, right leg back, left leg back, right knee in, left knee in, lower it down, take a brief shell. Well done. So recovering here, finding your breath. Only one little bit more extra work to go, guys. Last exercise. So we're going to be coming into a downward facing dog. And from our down dog, I want to shift forward. So a downward facing dog shape like this. I want to shift forward into a plank. You're welcome to just stay in plank if you like, or you can take, I'm going to take right knee towards right tricep, then towards the left tricep, step it back, downward facing dog. Okay, then we're going to come forward, left knee, left tricep, right tricep, back, downward facing dog. As I do all this stuff, I'm trying to keep my shoulders really stable. So my shoulders are not wobbling all over the place. You're welcome to join me when you're ready. The downward facing dog. We're going to shift forward into plank. You're welcome to just stay in the plank, keeping the shoulders steady. You can go left knee to left tricep, left knee to right tricep, step back, and then back to downward facing dog. So the whole way through this, my shoulders are a stable platform as my leg moves and does all its funky things. Try for 6. Nice. Yes, and up. Good. 5. It's a bit of endurance here as well. So we're not just racing through. Imagine you had a cup of tea on your spine, on your middle back. If you were wearing a bra, it would be at the bra clasp at the back. Just imagine it. That's where your cup of tea is, and your cup of tea is gliding forwards and backwards in space. Last 3. And 2. Dig deep, guys, for the last 1. And then we're going to lower our knees down. Untuck the toes. Sit back one last time into a shell. If you're like me and your shoulders need a break from being overhead, I quite like to reach back and hold onto my heels in shell. So staying here, guys, relaxing through the cheeks in your jaw. Allow the breath to fill your tummy again. Find that 360-degree full of the inhale and use that to relax your shoulders. On the exhale, we soften even more. Taking 2 more breaths here. And our last breath together. Slowly bring yourself up into a little kneeling seat. And guys, that is you done. So well done. I can feel my shoulders. I hope you guys are okay. Yeah. Did we get on okay?